Hey guys, this is Chetan,
And this is Abby.
and welcome back to another episode of the Unprofessionals. Last night we had the NBA draft play out, and this afternoon we just had the MLB trade deadline pass. So we're going to go over both those situations. Teams gotten better, both situations, but we're going to start off with the NBA. We had the lottery picks. Uh, Abby and I both had Kate Cunningham going number one overall. That was a consensus pick. Rockets taking Jalen Green, Cavaliers taking Evan Mobley, and it was at 4, which was a little bit of a surprise. I personally thought Jalen Suggs was the best remaining player in the draft at that point, and the Raptors passed on him for Scotty Barnes, who everyone's saying is possibly could be the best player in the draft and one of the best defenders in this draft. Number 5, Abby's Magic select Jalen Suggs.
Woo!
Number 6, Thunder get Josh Giddey out of Australia. Melbourne has the most first round picks of any city in the NBA draft history. Number 7, the Warriors did not make a move, which was a surprise to both Abby and I, and they draft Jonathan Kuminga out of the G League. So we had 2 of the top 10 players in this draft come out of the G League. At number 8, the Magic draft Franz Wagner. His brother Mo Wagner is already on the team out of Michigan. At number 9, it was a little bit of surprise to me, but the Kings select another point guard. And Abby and I love this guy. His nickname is Off Night, Davion Mitchell. At 10, another bit of a surprise. I thought this was going to be James Bouknight all the way, and they select the Pelicans selected for the Grizzlies at 10, and they got Zaire Williams. So Zaire Williams is going to be in the backcourt with John Morant and Dylan Brooks. At 11, the Hornets select James Bouknight. He's probably going to be paired with LaMelo Ball, and that's an exciting backcourt because James Bouknight can put the ball in the basket. At 12, a little bit of a surprise for me. The Spurs pick Joshua Primo, so they got a plethora of guards up there. At 13, it's the Pacers select Chris Durante out of Oregon, and the final pick of the lottery, the Warriors select Moses Moody. Out of these picks, Abby, which one were you most excited for, and which one was your biggest surprise?
Bring it home, bring it home, bring it home. The Orlando Magic get Jalen Suggs. Mr. Football, Mr. Basketball from Minnesota. The man would have been potentially an NFL prospect. Obviously, he would still be in college if he was going for the pros, but he chose basketball, and he made the right decision because all he did was dominate in high school, went to Gonzaga, went to the NCAA finals, and then now he is a top 5 pick. We thought maybe he could have went higher. The consensus was 4 because obviously Kyle Lowry will not be returning to the Raptors. That felt like a plug-and-play. Put him next to Van Vliet. Boom. You have your backcourt for the next 5 to 10 to 15 years going forward. But I guess not. The Scotty Barnes talk was going on for a minute. All I kept hearing was this guy's going up, going up, going up. And listen, I like Scotty Barnes. He's a jack of all trades. He can't do anything great, but he can do a lot of things good. That's my takeaway. I'm not a college basketball expert. I watched a lot of Florida State last year, and in the tournament, he is not, in my opinion, Jalen Suggs is a better player right now. Going forward, could Scotty Barnes be a better player? Yeah, of course he can. It's a lottery. Your top 5 pick. Anything can happen. And obviously, if Masai Ujiri picks you, then obviously that man, he knows how to pick talent. So he saw something in him. That's the only thing that scares me. But listen, man, I'm not gonna overthink this at all. The Orlando Magic finally got some good luck happen. We did not need Scotty Barnes. We have enough long defensive players. We have enough of that shit. We need a playmaker. We need a guy that got some sizzle, some spiciness to him. And that's what Jalen Suggs represents. We may, if you really think about this is you can think of this as a blasphemous statement, but whole roster, guards wise, whole roster, top to bottom, the Orlando Magic in the Eastern Conference got maybe a top 3 roster of guards. And I don't think all these guards can be on the team because we really have 6 guards. So obviously you have Markelle Fultz. He's coming from an ACL injury. Not going to work for him. Speedy recovery. Hopefully he gets back soon. But he got injured, I think, in like January. So I don't think he's coming back until at least like mid-season, if that. So Cole Anthony, loved him before college. What a pick, 15th overall. Man's a baller, clutch gene like his father. Pedigree in the NBA. This man has killer will, and he is going to be around for a long time. We got R.J. Hampton from the Denver Nuggets. This man is, Aaron Gordon, peace out, bro. At least we got something great for you. Denver, enjoy Aaron Gordon because, listen, he has reached his peak. He's 25, I think, Aaron Gordon. But he's reached his ceiling, in my opinion, because he can play defense, and that's about it.
Yeah, he's been in the league for 7 years now?
He's been in the NBA for a long time, and yeah. So R.J. Hampton, Gary Harris, Terrence Ross, Michael Carter-Williams, and then we get to now Jalen Suggs. So I just want to break this down because I just felt this was kind of interesting. That this statement right now, Orlando Magic having the deepest. Let's think about it. Philly, who they got? Seth Curry, Ben Simmons. Please stop it. That's 2 guys. That's it. Brooklyn's number 1. I give you that. Brooklyn's number 1. You got Kyrie, Harden. Right now, Spencer Dinwiddie at the end of discussion. Milwaukee, you really only got Jrue Holiday. That's it.
Chris Middleton.
Huh? Chris Middleton's not a guard.
I mean, DiVincenzo and Connaughton are pretty good, but they're not.
They're not. Take the ball and go take it. Go do something with it. New York, D Rose, Alfred Payne. I don't think so. Derrick Rose, yes, but not. Max, the young rookie, quickly. Atlanta, Trae Young, Herter, Lou Will. I give you them. So I put them in the top 3 right now. Miami, you got Jimmy Butler, Dragic, and that's it.
Hero.
You can miss me with Tyler Hero. That bubble nonsense. You can miss me with all that bubble shit. This
Duncan
dude got to prove it to me. Who?
Duncan?
Oh my god, he's a shooter. Stop it. Okay.
I mean, you guys got.
Okay, fine. If you want to put Miami in there, that's 4. That's 4 teams right there. Boston, they got nobody.
I mean, you guys got Terrence Ross. He's a shooter too. You got to put him in the conversation.
Boston, they got nobody. Who's your guards? Marcus Smart.
That's about it.
That's
Jaylen
it.
Brown.
Okay.
Washington. Let's not disrespect.
Washington. They only have Beal. Because something else happened that we will get into on Monday with the whole squad. Indiana, we got Brogdon, we got LeVert. Okay, that's solid. That's 2 players. The Hornets, now they can enter this conversation now because they have LaMelo, they got Terry Rozier, they got Devontae Graham, and now they got Bognite. So I'll put them in there. Your Chicago Bulls, Levine, Cody White,
Kobe White,
and I think that's about it.
We got one more. No.
Toronto would be just Van Fleet and Gary Trent. Malachi Flynn's good. He's aight. Cleveland, nobody. I'm sorry. Darius Garland. That's it. Oh, Colin Sexton. Okay. Orlando, I mentioned. Detroit. Who the hell is the guard for Detroit? Oh, Cade Cunningham.
And
that's it. One guy. So Orlando Magic, out of 15 teams, I would say, in the Eastern Conference, rank in the top 5 of the guard positions at least, which is saying something. I think we have – I'm not trying to make this about the Magic. I'm just saying. Your question was, biggest takeaway? When they said Scotty Barnes, 4th overall, I screamed. Yeah. My family heard. My dad said, what is this guy screaming for? And I'm just like, Dad, you won't understand. You won't understand my pain because I've suffered for 11 years. Yeah, we made the playoffs a couple times. We won a playoff game, but that doesn't mean shit, in all honesty. Unless you're winning and actually have a purpose to get to the finals, it means nothing. And now I think we're on our way. Trae Young, just 3 years ago? Well, that draft was 2 years ago?
3.
3, right? So look, in 3 years, look where Atlanta became because of Trae Young. And 3 years ago, Luka. I'm not saying Jalen Suggs is Luka, but still, your team can go places real quick if you get the right pick. And I think we made the right pick. We got Isaac. We got players, and I'm finally excited for Orlando Magic basketball. Then going forward, I think my biggest I don't the rest of the players I'm not really surprised by every player that you named. I was just shocked that the Golden State Warriors made those two picks.
Yeah, that was going to
I
be my
was
next
waiting to
surprise.
hear the Golden State Warriors trade the 7th and 14th pick for Pascal Siakam. I was waiting for that. And it didn't come. It could still happen, obviously, because the offseason has just began. Free agency starts Monday. But if you're asking me what the biggest takeaway was, listen, man, I'm not gonna be a homer, but it's clearly that. There was nobody on earth at the time before the pick was made that could have told you that the Raptors were gonna take Scotty Barnes over Jalen Suggs. And that shock was the biggest shock. And also another shock would be Josh Giddey, who I heard a lot about recently because,
Team Australia is playing in the
I'm
Olympics.
like, who is this guy? And I was shocked. 6? Same thing like Masai Ujiri. When Sam Presti picks you, my antenna goes up. 6th overall? Damn. So him, and then what else? And then Bo Knight dropping to 11. I was kind of surprised by that. But the Hornets, they got just like the Magic. They got guards. They have quality guards too. There's not enough room. There's gonna be players wanting for playing time. They're gonna have to trade somebody away. And then who else? Anything else surprising? That's about it. I didn't think anything else was more that crazy. Kaminga, Moody dropped to 14. I felt that was kind of low for him. He went to the perfect situation, if you ask him, because he went to Golden State. Obviously, no pressure on him. Take his time. Kaminga going 7. I just don't think there's any way in hell with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and Draymond all being over 30 years old that all 3 of those players, with Wiseman included, are going to be on this roster. They are in it for it now. You cannot. They already lost 2 years because Klay got hurt. You can't lose any more years. Klay and Steph are not getting younger. So those are my biggest takeaways.
I mean, yeah, I'm going to start with my biggest surprises. The same thing as you is everything lined up for the Warriors to make a trade. You know, you had 2 lottery picks. That can change a franchise. You have a salary dump with you can either send Kelly Oubre or Andrew Wiggins. And you have a young player with James Wiseman. It's just, Philadelphia thinks Ben Simmons is God. And they're like, yeah, we want 4 picks, 3 pick swaps, all your young players, and Andrew Wiggins. And I'm sitting there like, okay, that no way Philadelphia is getting what they want. But Pascal Siakam is not happy in Toronto, and he has his beef with Nick Nurse. So I was a little surprised that move didn't happen. Just like you, I was like 100% sure that was the move that was gonna happen today or yesterday. And I guess the big thing here was, Bradley Beal not being available, which was a little bit of a shock to me. That's just an overall perspective kind of thing that we'll talk about on Monday. But I think the biggest takeaway I got from this draft is how many good guards are going to be in this league moving forward, because Kate Cunningham is 6'8". He plays point. He's a very good passer. He's a very good scorer. And then your second pick, Jalen Green, who both you and I are thinking, like, you pair him with Kevin Porter Jr. and John Wall, they're going to be running up the scoreboard every time in Houston. And then, you got Jalen Suggs, Josh Giddey, who, you going to the Thunder. It's kind of like the old days where the Spurs would draft a foreign player, and we're just like, all right, just pencil them in for the Hall of Fame because Popovich and Buford know what they're doing. And I'm just looking at this list. I think my big shock is the Kings have 3 point guards now. And are they looking to move out of De'Aaron Fox because they drafted Davion Mitchell and they already have Tyrese Halliburton? Or was the pick more of a move for the future that they know something that we don't? So I'm surprised. I would look into that. And I guess overall, I thought, was Zaire Williams the right pick for the Grizzlies? I'm not too sure. He's a lanky jump shooter. He fits he would fit with the with John Morant in the backcourt. It's just I'm curious what they were going to do because you and I both questioned the Valanciunas trade. Moving forward, I guess on Monday we'll be talking about the Russell Westbrook deal.
Ooh,
We'll be
ooh.
talking
Shake the
about
league, baby. Shake the league.
Bradley Beal not wanting out,
Ben
Ben
Simmons,
Simmons,
DeMar
DeMar
DeRozan,
DeRozan. Who else we got? We're gonna be talking about
Siakam,
Siakam, Kawhi Leonard. Oh, we still don't know what he's thinking.
and free agency starts Monday as well.
Yeah, so when we're recording a podcast, we might be dropping breaking news. We might be reading the breaking news with you guys. But
Now,
we're gonna
yeah.
move on to the MLB trade deadline, which has been firing off for the last 3 days, and today it just hit a peak of you're like, oh, this guy's gone, and I guess we should
Who isn't
start
gone?
with the fire sale that the the Cubs had. You know, we were talking about in 2016, they finally bring that title home, and you're talking about Chris Bryant, you're talking about the likes of Anthony Rizzo, and all these boys, and
Javi
it just
Baez.
came to a time that they finally break it up, right? And now we're looking at contenders who might have just etched themselves into a World Series berth, might have easily bought themselves into the championship series at least. So let's go over a couple of these trades. First, I guess the big trade that you and Arun were discussing on our betting podcast, which you guys should subscribe to. We had Matt Scherzer and where'd he go? Trey Turner going to
The Dodgers.
Los Angeles Dodgers. Now, you know, Max Scherzer's replacing Trevor Barrow, who we still don't know his situation.
He gone.
He's probably gone because no one on that team wants him back. Really?
Yeah, he got his own issues. He's gone.
So you're telling me your playoff rotation is Walker Buehler, Max Scherzer, Clayton Kershaw. Surprise! Which I just learned today. I didn't know this. They were both in the same draft back in 2006, I think. Which I was like, damn. Who else?
Julio Urias will be your fourth starter now.
Urias is your fourth starter, and then who's their fifth starter?
You still got Tony Gosselin. Still got David Price.
So they're loaded
plenty
there.
of arms.
And now
and you traded for Dan Duffy. Lefty.
Dan Duffy.
Yeah.
You can put him in the bullpen. You can start him. It doesn't matter. You got it's an arms race, and they just took them all. So
Corey Seager is coming back today. They activated him, so he's already coming back. Trey Turner will be here after the COVID test is after he clears COVID. Hope he's doing well. But just on this trade, before you go, this trade, like you said we now have our first super team of the Major League Baseball this year. There were no super teams before this. We all felt the Dodgers would win, yes, but that was not a super team. This now is a super team. You have the first three pitchers are all aces. All of them are aces. And you can really make the argument the fourth one is also. You really could. You have four aces. You have four A-plus pitchers and one A pitcher. It's ridiculous. This is what, I'm sorry to take shade at your team, but this is what the Yankees should be doing. With all the money they got, capital they have, this is what the Yankees should be on the East Coast. They're doing it right on the West Coast.
Yeah.
And that was a big trade. The Padres, I don't know what the hell they're doing. They were supposed to get him, and the Dodgers swooped in and just took it up a notch, and they got it. I don't know what the Padres are doing, because now instead of you having him, the Padres, you're giving him to your rival. That got a sting, and the Padres have been the little brother for a long time, and right now, there's no way I could pick anybody above the Dodgers in the NL. I'm sorry. Or, to be honest, in the league. But
and you probably have to face them at least 3 times in the next 2 months, most likely. And
It's just the lineup, man. You get Seager back. You have Trey Turner when he comes back. Mookie comes back. Muncy, Turner, Will Smith, Bellinger, Chris Taylor. There's gonna be players not playing that would be starting every day for other clubs. The one thing I'll say is they didn't really address their bullpen, in my opinion. But in my opinion, you can put Danny Duffy in your bullpen. You can put Gosselin in your bullpen. David Price goes back to the bullpen because now you have four. When Clayton Kershaw comes back, you have these four ready to go, and probably Tony Gosselin. So you can put David Price in your bullpen. You can put Danny Duffy in your bullpen, and you're good to go. But overall, how can you hate on this trade? This trade is A+. It's a blockbuster. It's ridiculous. It's once in a 10-year move. But
I won't even say it's a once in a 10-year move. It's a once in a generation move. You have three. You have two.
Well, I wouldn't say that because the last time a move like this happened was when Houston traded for Verlander.
Yeah, but this is completely different because you have two 3-time Cy Young Award winners.
That's true. In terms of the team itself, you're right. Yeah. Even though that Houston team, listen, you got Charlie Moore, you got Lance McCullers. Yeah, who else did they have on that team? They had
Verlander, Musgrove.
Am I missing anyone? I think they had one more guy. Garrett Cole.
No.
Garrett Cole's on the team.
Not the year before. Not the year they won.
Not the year they won. Okay, my bad. You're right.
The year the year after he was.
Okay, I feel you. All right, now let's take it to your Yankees. Let's bring it back home. Let's bring it to the tri-state area. Yankees, listen. I think they did well. I would give them a B. I would not give them an A. What I don't understand is why the hell. This is a side note. Why the hell are DJ LeMahieu and Gio Urshela not playing tonight? Listen, it's a side note. I am not a Yankees fan. It's just something that confuses me. Anthony Rizzo's in the lineup tonight. Joey Gallo's in the lineup tonight. Why would you not play them all? And that's just a separate issue for me, but it is what it is. That's a managerial decision or whatever you want to call it. But back on track. Joey Gallo, solid addition. Anthony Rizzo, even better addition, in my opinion. Veteran, been there, done that. Had the World Series under him with the Chicago Cubs in 2016. Leader, not a single bad thing to talk about this man or Joey Gallo. Listen, I think the biggest problem for the Yankees is they got Giancarlo Stanton on this roster. I'm not trying to hate on the man. He used to be a superstar. Listen, he just does not give you – he can only do one thing. And even that thing, he's not even doing that well, man.
Yeah.
Look at Nelson Cruz. Nelson Cruz is 41. That's how Stanton should be, with Nelson Cruz is, and he's 10 years older than him. So I'm not trying to hate on him, but that money, that contract really puts him in a bind. You kept Luke Voigt, so I don't understand what that's all about. You kept him. You didn't add any pitching. Garrett Cole, listen, you can nitpick. I remember when Garrett Cole, before the All-Star break, what he did to Houston. Listen, he did have a little bit of, adrenaline running because that's his old team in Houston. I told you, Houston didn't have Carlos Correa or Bregman in that lineup. So I mentioned to you that Garrett Cole, phenomenal performance, but he did it against a not fully loaded lineup. I told you that. Listen, people, Yankees fan out there, this problem is not going away. People thought, what he did against Houston, okay, 130 pitches into All-Star break. Whoop, no. He went to Boston, got shellacked. Now he went to Tampa Bay, and that shit was, Jesus Christ. You got to be kidding me. So, $300 million. You have two $300 million problems. That's $600 million. $600 million problems. And you got to pay Aaron Judge eventually. Gleyber Torres. So, this is like putting makeup on an ugly donkey. This is why I look at it as these trades. Like you're putting makeup on a thing that's already hideous. I think this makes no difference to them in the long run. They're not making the damn playoffs. I think the team in division that made a moves today that are put themselves like, yo, Yankees, hold our, you know what? Like, we're going to be the ones that pass all of you. But before we go there, Chetan, your thoughts on the Yankees?
I mean, I told you this in the beginning of the season. I'm like, yo, they can't hit. They can hit home runs all they want, but they can't hit. I told you that. I told you I don't believe in the pitchers. I was like, we have one good pitcher. Right now, he's not pitching well.
No, your aces now. The guy that's pitching today. Yep.
I was so happy when they picked him up, and then the first half of the season it was rough for him. Now he's
Coming off a
figuring it
major
out.
injury. Coming off a major injury.
Coming off a major injury, but thank God he's figuring it out because if it wasn't for him pitching well right now, I don't know what I would say because
Yeah, you really have sus pitching
bad.
all throughout the whole. We only have one guy really right now.
But I told you it was going to be sus throughout the season. When I started, I was like, yo, Tampa Bay is going to win this division. I told you that. I told you the Yankees are not going to make it out of the wild card. They're not going to even make the wild card. Right? And I told you the surprise team to watch out for this year. I mean, if it wasn't for Boston, it's the team we're about to talk about right now. It's the Toronto Blue Jays, who, with 63 games remaining, added Jose Barrios, Joaquin Soria, Brad Hand, Adam Simber,
Yup.
Corey Dickerson, and Trevor Richards. And I'm just looking at this like, they're another team that, they needed arms. They went and got them. And their offense is already so filthy.
Top notch. Top five.
When healthy, if George
Scary.
Springer can figure it out, that's a playoff lineup.
I think they just got themselves into the playoffs. They just made the wild card, in my opinion.
That second wild card, who has it right now?
I think Oakland.
I mean,
It's gonna be tough.
I mean, it's difficult to knock Oakland because Oakland also made a couple moves that really helped them
Charlie
out.
Marte, Shafine, Josh Harrison,
And
Gomes. Yeah, they did a lot. They did a lot too.
so like that is gonna be a dogfight, even there. So I'm just like, I as a Yankee fan, I knew that Toronto was coming.
Andrew Heaney, that's your answer to the starting pitching problems? Andrew Heaney, really?
Let's not go there. I was not very happy about that.
Andrew Heaney has had an awful season this year.
He's had an awful season. His career has not been very well either. I think he pitches to like a career 5 ERA or something ridiculous. So like, I mean, Oakland right now made the right moves. We're going to talk about them later. I'm looking through this. The Mets, the Phillies, the Braves.
Let's just go. We're in the tri-state area. Talk about the Yankees. Go to the Mets. The Mets, they made Showtime moves. Javi Baez always wanted to play with his friend, Frankie Lindor. Frankie Lindor, he's out right now. He likely will be out a couple more weeks. He takes over his spot. And once they come back, that is the best defensive infield in all of baseball. It's straight magic. It's going to be magical to watch them. My man Javi Baez's nickname in Spanish is Magician.
Yep.
That's what he is. So it is going to be. They traded for. I think did they trade for any pitching?
They
I don't
got
think so.
Trevor Williams in that same deal.
Yeah, stop it. That's not trading for pitching. That's trading for just an arm at that point. He has been awful this year.
I mean, that's what if you're talking about. Are we talking about real pitching or are we talking about arms?
Now they made their big move. They added Javi Baez. Now, do we sign him long term? We'll see about that. But they did.
See,
They go ahead.
with the Mets, it was the one big move that didn't happen. That, hey, they could have went from, just making the playoffs to a World Series contender. Was they couldn't agree on the money, how much money they wanted to pay and how much money the Twins should have paid for Kenta Maeda and Josh Donaldson. Remember, because I was always hyping like, they need a third baseman. They should go get Chris Bryant, who we'll talk about in a little bit, who also got traded. But the guy they could have gotten was Josh Donaldson. That would have been a perfect fit. And they could have gotten Kenta Maeda to just bolster that rotation that's already, if healthy, is DeGrom, Syndergaard, Carrasco, Walker, and Stroman. You add Kenta Maeda to that. You move someone to the bullpen, you got and that fixes another problem. You'd fix a bullpen problem there. If you put Carrasco in there, Carrasco is a strikeout machine. So like I think the move that they didn't make is gonna be the most impactful.
I think their division rivals and what they did. We're just touching on all the teams. Atlanta Braves, they go all in. They don't have Acuna no more. Ozuna has his problems. Soroka got hurt. This team with the moves they made, you got Adam Duvall back from Miami. You went off and got Richard Rodriguez from the Pirates, their closer. You got Jorge Soler, who was a monster. He had 48 home runs 2 years ago.
Yeah, he's
What
on
else did they
power
did?
surge right now. They got Eddie Rosario. Who else did they get?
And they got one more player that I'm forgetting right now.
Who is it? Who is it? We talked about Duval. Talked about Rosario. I can't find it right now.
They got one more player, but regardless of that, they are basically saying, listen, yes, we lost Acuna, but this NL East is still up for grabs. The Mets are like, what, 4 games above them?
Yeah.
The Mets did made one great move, but they're like, you know what? We're going for it still. We feel that this is best for us. Oh, they got a nah, never mind. I forgot. I thought I added a name, but I forgot it. So at the end of the day, the Atlanta Braves are saying, we're not out of it yet. We're gonna play for this year, and once everyone comes back, we will only be that much better.
The last 2 players, Jock Peterson and Steven Vogt.
Oh yeah, well those are players that are already on the team. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah, so they were.
And then you said that Chicago Cubs, the Chris Bryant. Last second, we knew he was gonna get traded. We didn't know to who. The Giants are like, yo, Padres, you made your move. Dodgers, you made your move. We gotta make a move. They made a phenomenal move. Get Chris Bryant. When Evan Longoria comes back and Brandon Belt comes back, this team is going to. They're winning. They have the most wins in baseball without a healthy squad. Evan Longoria got hurt in April. Brandon Belt hasn't played in like a month. Brandon Crawford just came back. You add Chris Bryant. You got Yastrzemski. You got Buster Posey. Yo, this team, man.
And then they bolstered the bullpen with Tony Watson.
And they have bullpen. They have Rogers. They got Leon. They have a bullpen already. Listen, man, this is going to be for baseball fans. I know baseball is not the best, easiest sport to watch. I understand there's so many games; it could get boring at times. But the NL West and just the playoffs this year. Oh man, and these races for the wild card spots. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be phenomenal. Any other trade? I think the 2 teams that we have not discussed yet that have that have put themselves in straight up World Series contention, besides the Dodgers, are the 2 teams. And I think one of these 2 teams is now going to face the Dodgers in the World Series: the White Sox and the Houston Astros. They both have the same glaring weakness: their bullpen. What the hell did the Astros do? They went out and got Kendall Graveman. They went out and got Garcia from the Marlins. They got Matone from Cleveland. And they got one more guy. His name's slipping my mind right now. They got one more guy. Shit. What's his name? I'm trying to think. They already have Presley, obviously. They got one more guy. Come on, Chetan, use your research. Hurry up.
I'm looking it up. Hold on. Yo, where is this?
Okay, regardless, they upgraded their bullpen substantially. That was their biggest weakness. They have the hitting. Bregman will be coming back. They have the lineup. They have the starting pitching, in my opinion. All they needed was a bullpen. They have the bullpen now. They're going to, and then the other team was the White Sox. The White Sox have the lineup. They have the starting pitching. Their bullpen was, to be honest, awful. Besides their last 2 players, Hendricks was phenomenal. Kopech is phenomenal. Everybody else was sus. What do? They go out and get Kimbrel. So I want to know who's going to be closing now, because that's going to be tough. Who's closing? And they went out and got Tapera from the Cubs. So that bullpen is solidified. Now I feel one of these 2 teams is going to be representing the AL in the World Series. Okay. Also, side note, Anthony Rizzo's first appearance as a Yankee, he is taking a walk. That is his first plate appearance. That's how it should be. Now let's see what Giancarlo Stanton can do. 2 guys on base, 2 outs. Chetan, what do you think is going to happen? In Miami.
Oh, he's about to strike out.
Oh, man.
So, okay, they got Straw. They
traded Straw. They traded Straw for Maton.
Maton, yeah, my bad. Maton. I'm looking at Garcia.
Yeah. Graveman. I think they got one more guy.
Graveman. Rafael Montero.
That's the name I was looking for, but
I don't see another name.
Regardless, that's okay. It's okay. Regardless, those three players just changed the entire. Presley is now, and you got Christian Javier. Your bullpen is set to go. Set to go. The lineup is there. The starting pitching is there. Verlander is likely not coming back, so obviously that's a blow. But the Houston Astros they're in it now, and we could see Houston, LA, round 2. Now, wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be something?
That would be something. I think you already had. I picked the White Sox to come out of the AL, so I'm happy they made a move for Craig
I
Kimbrel.
don't think the White Sox can beat Houston now.
It's not. Yeah, it's not close. Their lineups, as much as I love what the White Sox have to put out, it's not what the
Houston got the experience.
Houston got.
They got, in my opinion, their starting pitching. I think starting pitching both are equal. I think the Houston Astros bullpen now is better.
Does Verlander come back this year?
I don't think he's gonna be coming back.
When did he get hurt?
Oh, Stanton strikeout. There you go.
I told you.
Absolute joke.
Okay, so the team is not counting on Justin Verlander to come back in 2021. Which is sad because if he did, I'd just be like, yeah, fuck. But
overall, I think we hit on all the big trades. There's other trades that happened, but I think for the contending teams and the teams that really have a chance, we went through it. So I think that sums up the trade deadline.
All right. Post-deadline predictions. Who meets in the World Series?
We get Dodgers, Houston, round 2.
Yeah, I agree. 100%. There's no team.
I think this is Houston's last ride.
Oh, Houston's last ride.
Yeah, Carlos Correa is probably going to be gone. These bullpen arms are veterans, so.
And their pitching is also veteran. So
that's another thing. Yeah, they have McCullers. They have who else? Jake Odorizzi's a veteran. Zach Greinke. How many more years he got in him?
Verlander might be gone.
Verlander is a free agent. I'm pretty sure he's a free agent.
Yeah, he might end up in Detroit again.
Oh man. So yeah, I think this is the last ride. I'm not gonna tell you who's gonna win because there's no reason to right now. Baseball, we have a long way to go. We got August. We got September. We have 2 months. Yeah, and then October rolls around.
Anywhere between 60 to 65 games left for each.
But overall, I think we both agree. Listen, besides health, the Dodgers have zero reason why they're not going to be in the World Series. And Houston, their biggest obstacle, in my opinion, is the White Sox. Yankees, I'm sorry. No way. Oakland, maybe. Toronto, they're too young. Boston is interesting. I think Boston didn't do enough. They should have added some pieces in pitching. They should have added something. They didn't add enough. Chris Sale, obviously, is going to be an addition. They could be banking on that. Schwarber was a fantastic pickup. But overall, I think Houston has too much.
With Schwarber, I was like a little bit confused because isn't JD Martinez their DH? Or is he playing right field?
Their DH is – I think they change.
They change? Okay. Because I was like, I thought Martinez was their full-time DH.
But Kyle Schwarber plays left field all the time.
Yeah, but the left field everywhere else is different than left field in Boston.
Hey man, you gotta do what you gotta do. You got that bat that he has.
Plus Verdugo.
He was the hottest hitter in baseball before he got hurt.
Yeah, but Verdugo also plays left.
Listen, I wish that was my problem, but it's not. Our problem is making more content for you guys. That's what we're going to do. We're now in the prime time. Usually August, the dog days. For this year, it's not because NBA free agency, the draft just happened. Baseball's in its full-on mode right now. Teams are now competing to get into the wild card, the playoff, division, etc. And training camp has begun. It's not foolishness anymore. They're in pads. The football's throwing. Carson Wentz, we'll get into this next week. Carson Wentz already got a foot injury, and he could be out for a significant period of time. As a side note, Dak Prescott may have a shoulder injury, and it's unfortunate because the last thing you want is training camp to result in serious injuries for anyone. But it's sports. It happens. And we move on and we cover it. So make sure you guys subscribe because we will continue to bring you great content.
All right, guys. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.